what a day. The fact that we got Hindenburg Research to like our parody video of the actual Hindenburg going down with Nicola's with Nicola's quote unquote timeline being on it. That was
That's awesome.
that was funny. I get to take full credit for that 12 minutes of work of getting that created and posted onto the.
And those are the best things are done quickly, yeah.
I guess it's funny how you can spend like days doing stuff and get nothing
Nothing.
like
Yeah.
for it, and then something you can whip together super quickly. I think it's funny. It takes me longer to find footage. Like, which Hindenburg footage should I use more so than like actually editing it?
Right. I love how last week we were talking about his Zoom background and how you could tell he was a fraud, and then and it turns out he actually is fraud.
Allegedly, easy. We still don't know like if any of the actual things Hindenburg has alleged are true. So far, it's looking like it might be. I don't think it says a lot of confidence when your founder and executive chairman steps down. But something that I think it was CNBC today had that I think leads a lot of credence. GM has basically said we're not going anywhere, and a lot of auto execs are involved with Nikola and obviously in GM, but in the deal. So now that you've gotten the Instagram bro out of the company and what they called having the grownups in the room now, maybe we actually get to see. And I do want Nikola to succeed. I would like there to be a decent competitor to like Rivian and Lordstown, at least in the EV pickup market, but also just in terms of getting those hydrogen fuel cell semis up and running, getting that.
Nah, I just want the jet ski.
They have a jet ski.
Yes, it's completely electric. It looks awesome.
Nikola does?
Yeah, go check their website out. It's pretty tight.
Is it like the Badger jet ski or something?
It's not what it's called. I think it's something stupider than that. Probably
I'm gonna look it
from
up.
Milton's. Yeah, they have like jet ski and they have little like off-road vehicles like Polaris does. Like they're all, for hunting and like ranch style stuff. And they have the Badger, but then they have their premium stuff is the truck.
That's pretty dope.
I know. It looks sick.
Like that blue color. Dang, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. If they can like get some good leadership, they can be a legit company. I mean, if you got Shaq backing you up, everything he touched turns to gold. He just bought a new yacht, so
yeah, those
Shaq's
allegations are
buying a Badger.
Those allegations are pretty strong, though. It's like,
I know.
Is that even a real jet ski, or is it just like made of wood or something?
Was the jet ski pushed downhill too?
It was on a waterfall. It was down the closed down Disney Splash Mountain. Say it was self-driving.
It went down the slide.
Self-driving jet ski.
So what were you saying, Pate, about GM? It looks like the vice chairman, right? What's his name? Steven Gursky is taking over. This chairman, is that correct?
That and like
I'm just looking at the slide now.
And Nikola, I almost said Tesla. Nikola this whole time has had a CEO. I didn't even know that, and we followed the story somewhat closely, and the company somewhat closely ever since it came public. I think his last name is Russell. So yeah, we will see. I wonder if honestly this just becomes like an adjacent business unit for GM in the end. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it goes. I'm sure we'll still have many more parody videos to come at Nikola's expense.
Not mad about it.
I mean, hey, we're not the ones getting alleged of automotive fraud. But yeah, on that note, everybody, welcome to, I think, what is episode 7 of Quarterly Learnings. We've got all 3 of our hosts here today. Guys, do we want to really do a real quick what's up, what's down, or we just want to get right into it?
Sure.
We can do what's up, what's down.
Yeah, I've not followed news at all today, but
I can go.
Okay, what about
first.
past week? You know,
Well, the most recent stuff in my life is watching the Lakers dominate last night. Or not dominate, but have an exciting game last night. I know this is not a sports podcast, but right now it is.
Integrated sports every single episode at some point. I think.
I know. We got to mention it once.
The last one I talked about what Gostkowski missed like 4 kicks for the Titans because I had it on the background while we were recording.
Oh, and not to mention, how about them boys? How about them Cowboys? What the hell was that? Y'all watched that game, right?
Yeah, that's
or at least the ending, the highlights, something.
I was golfing.
That's going to be a tough one for the Falcons special teams coach to explain at future job interviews. So,
yeah,
it's not his fault.
It's 100% his fault.
How is that his fault?
You go.
The players didn't react. He can't be on the field and grab the football.
You coach the players whose job it is to grab the football.
They're professionals. You don't have to teach that at that level. That's not something. That's not on him.
You want bet?
That's not on him.
It's on him. Move on.
Whatever. What's down is my freaking portfolio getting kicked in the dick from last week. It's fine. It's just a couple things just with the market are down. So market in general until today. Yeah. Nothing more to say about that.
For me, what's up is the Dallas Stars. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals. Won game 1. Hopefully they can take game 2 tonight. Seems to be the only Texas sports team that's doing well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on their bandwagon. And then also today I decided to purchase an Apple call, which turned out to be a good decision. Midday, it just completely reversed from blood red to bright green, and you got to love to see that. What's down is just overall everybody's portfolios that's investing in tech the past 2 weeks, like what Justin said. We're seeing a bit of a reversal, but hopefully we can get some kind of a rebound here in the next couple weeks. We shall see.
Yeah, and wrap it up more quickly. I don't have too much. What's up is the W's across the fantasy board at large. My what's down though, a lot more serious is RIP to RBG, the notorious RBG on that. Yeah. That sucks to lose 27 years on the federal on the Supreme Court on the bench. That sucks to lose her, especially at one of the most polarized political times in the U.S. But we're not going to get into too much political talk, just RIP to RBG. But yeah, let's move on. Justin, what you got for us to kick it off?
I guess let's talk a little about the Dow rebound. I think Ryan, you were talking about it a little bit earlier, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So I had a little bit of a power hour here today. I think there's something about it's like up the most in a short amount of time, I guess either in a day or in a half a day stretch since 1933 is what I was reading. I don't know what.
Nothing
what
bad
do y'all
happened
think
in
about
the
that?
30s.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened in the 30s financial wise.
Oh God!
I mean, it was a complete. If you look at the chart, it just went straight down today, like what 900 points, and then
I think it got to 1,000 almost at one point, right? Maybe.
Yeah, it did. I'm looking at it.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, right now it says close 2,112.98 points higher, 11% at close today. That was I'm talking about the Dow Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it hasn't done that since 1933. It's the biggest one-day percentage gain since 1933.
It almost looked like a V recovery within the
it's
day.
Nuts.
We've seen enough. I mean, how many times have we talked about that? That is just insane. It's a sign of, I guess, volatility still, like I've said in the past.
I don't think the VIX was up like a ton though today. Let me see.
That's the thing is the VIX wasn't up, so everyone's saying this could be a sign of a rebound.
I just mistyped VIX and it brought up apparently there's a VIXX boy band that exists. Brought up the Wikipedia page for that.
You're not supposed to find that until like a month from now. I haven't launched it yet. Wait, God. I think I have this background, but it's just a little hint. God,
So,
ruining my plans.
yeah, that's what I do best. Yeah, so the VIX was up on about 7.5% today, so that was definitely up. Like I told you all though, at the close, it definitely seemed a lot more like short covering amongst institutions, more so than retail investors buying in via Robinhood and Toro and all that. But because it was a 7-to-1 split of sells versus buys today in the market, so that should probably tell you something. But I jokingly put out on the Apple chart to end the day on the pod Twitter is the Apple chart looked like Madoff got a hold of it with a Sharpie and just started drawing a line up to the right.
Straight up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, we live in quite volatile times, and I don't think it's going to get any less volatile anytime soon.
No, get your stuff right here pretty soon. Something that's safe. Or
take care of your chickens. Marshawn Lynch,
Yeah.
Michael Scott.
It was weird though. It's like everybody realized Apple and all these big tech stocks were down like 20 to 25% in the past 2 weeks, and then they were just like, "Okay, I guess we should buy now."
Well, if it's covering a short, they're not really abandoning their thesis. They're just trying to trim losses on the on those shorts.
Yeah, if it was short selling, which I think you're probably right on that. But there's got to be some long-term optimism built in a little bit with that kind of a jump. But maybe tomorrow we'll see. It'll be an interesting week for sure.
Just kind of shortly derail off of tech stocks too. We talked about snow here. I know we talked about it off the pod, but have we?
No, it's not snowing outside. Ha!
I'm about to leave.
You should. That was like a 2. That was like a 2 out of 10.
That's pretty generous there, Pate.
1.9.
We haven't talked about it though, and
no, I don't think we have.
Everyone's, from what I read today, people are thinking it's going to have a huge sell-off because they're saying it's the most expensive tech stock ever.
Yeah, an IPO.
Yeah, I mean, well, so what I read today was that institutions were the ones that got in early, and the Robinhood, which is just the euphemism for retail traders, the Robinhood traders are the ones who bought and sold it, but all the institutions held. So the institutions didn't take losses, but the Robinhood traders did, because if you're not literally Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. And a lot of these tech IPOs, if you don't get it on the allocation, which we usually we don't have the ability to do so, you're usually kind of SOL.
So just for my benefit, for layman's terms, what they were getting in at like what 120, 130, and
it IPO'd at 120. So like Warren Buffett got it at $120 a share.
Yeah. So they're fine. It's like, okay, am I gaining a lot, or am I gaining a lot but a little bit less? I mean, they were to hold through this downturn, right? I mean, that's basically what you're saying, is they're just like, okay, whatever, we can ride this out. Where the Robinhood traders, like you said, are like,
they're the ones that bought
losses
at 320, and then before they know it,
320,
15, yeah, and then 15 minutes later, they've lost thousands because they just think stocks only go up. So
what's it at right now? Like 225?
I couldn't even tell you. I haven't looked at it since.
Once I went past 200, I was like, I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not in.
What did I tell you all? That if it got above 115, I think I wasn't going to touch it until after the lockup period, which is 3 to 6 months, which is when insiders are allowed to dump all their shares, which is what happened with Peloton, Smile Direct Club, I think Slack too, and they all go down.
Yeti, same thing with Yeti. Happened with Yeti too.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, people that work at the company cash out if they can. And get
AKA Warren Buffett.
They secure the bag. Well, Warren Buffett is not going to cash out after a lockup if he got it during the IPO. He's going to hold it, or one of his lieutenants bought it and is going to hold it for as long as they see fit. the people that cash out are going to be like the senior design engineer that's been there for 2 years and was granted however many stock options when they join.
Yeah. It's at 230 right now.
You got to pay for your new Tesla somehow, and that's a great segue into Battery Day is tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Y'all excited about this? I'm not quite excited since that recent news, but
yeah. So did he come out and just basically poo-poo and expectation set on it all?
It sounds like there's not much on it yet because it was just like a very short statement from what I saw, at least. Ryan, you might have some more information on it, but I think that's just setting expectations. Yeah, I think that's realistic. I mean, they're under a microscope right now, so he can't, hold information anymore. And like, if they have any kind of info, they're coming out with it. So everyone knows about Battery Day. They know that they're building this huge site for these, this new technology. But the reality is, like, he's going to come out and tell everybody, hey, we're still building this infrastructure. It's not going to be really available until a year from now, which is very realistic. That's even really quick if you're really thinking about it. Everyone wants, the hottest new thing right now, but that's not reality. I don't think rational people are going to poo-poo this and say, oh, they're not going to have any real production until 2022. It's just the people reading that headline are like, oh, why is it taking so? What's the delay? There's not really a delay. I'm sure that was the plan the entire time.
I'm looking at the tweet right now, and he's essentially saying they will not be able to reach high level production until 2022 because he goes on to say that the battery cell purchases from Panasonic, LG, CATL, and possibly others too will not be able to keep up with demand. So he's saying that what they announce tomorrow is gonna be freaking cool and badass, but don't expect it to hit the shelves and fully until 2022.
Yeah,
so expect some exciting news is what that means, in my opinion.
Well, one of the expectations I think I saw was like a 16 times improvement or something in battery output or something like that. I'm excited for what it just means for the EV market in general, because if it can make it more accessible to for everybody, not necessarily from a price point, but what's the biggest thing holding back somebody who can afford a Tesla or another type of electric vehicle right now as their one primary car? And it's got to be range, I would imagine. If it's not price, it's going to be range and worried about I can't drive it however far without charging.
Brian, I think you said that in our first episode, was like, why are you not, what's the only thing holding you back from getting an electric car? And it's that right there.
Exactly. And that
driving from Dallas to San Antonio,
I think that's the one problem that's been preventing people from buying the cars. And I think he's looking to solve that. And that,
well, yeah,
I'm absolutely, I'm pumped. I think this is like what he's going to announce tomorrow is going to be like just interesting. And I hope it's 1,000 miles. Like, let's do it. That'd be awesome.
Hey, I'd love that. We'll see. I'll be very curious to see, and we can talk about that next week for sure and follow up on it more.
And the biggest thing for that, I mean, not just for not for just like average consumer, it's for commercial. It's the trucking that they're going to talk about and what that battery means for that, and would be competitive towards Nikola, who, if all this other bullshit aside, like if they can do what they've said they're going to do, then, Tesla's right there with them, if not ahead of the game now, if they can provide the battery life for trucking.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. Moving on. So I got a question for both of y'all, and I think I already know the answer. How many did either of y'all get a Quibi subscription or a free trial when it was available?
No.
I knew it. I will say I got the free trial, but I immediately slated to cancel it and did not convert to an actual subscription. Why do I bring this up? Today, Quibi, it kind of went under the radar with just the insanity of everything today. But it was announced today that Quibi is exploring several strategic options, including a possible sale. So I guess it wasn't the smartest thing in hindsight to try to launch a mobile subscription video service that is purely surrounded around people's commutes when commutes have largely been destroyed from the fabric of day-to-day life. I guess it's not fair to say smart because you had no way to predict that you would launch in the middle of a global pandemic that would stop all travel as we know it for a period of time. But I mean, I don't know. Did y'all even think of just subscribing to it?
Not until like literally last week when I found out Reno 911 is going to be on or is on Quibi. My stuff I actually watched now. They're what 7-minute episodes. I'm like, I can get into that. Cool. I apparently it's like a legit streaming service. I just
They
really know much
had the
about
names behind it. They had Meg Whitman. They had Jeffrey
I've seen it for a
Katzenberg,
while. Yeah.
and they had the cash behind it.
Dude, I always thought it was a side project for like big time, actors and stuff, and like just some bullshit to do when they're bored. But it's legit.
Yeah, the brief time I was watching it was like a fake HGTV show about renovating houses, and they accidentally like start renovating a cartel drug hideout house or cash house. And so that had Will Forte and I think it was Kristen Wiig in it. So yeah, it wasn't I think it was just they refused to let it go wider than just mobile only, and because they were trying to hone in on the grabbing the commute aspect, and then of course that ended up backfiring. So yeah, okay, so we don't have a lot on this, but I was just curious on that. But we can end with this very short segment on it. To what company do you think would be best to buy it? I will admit I'm stealing this idea from a Morning Brew poll on Twitter today.
Oh, do you know your answer already?
I'll say it, but I'm not confident in it. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on it too.
Oh man.
Netflix. I mean, I don't know.
You just saying Netflix just cause? Well thought out.
TikTok. I don't know.
TikTok.
Dude, it's kind of the same. It's the same like idea as TikTok.
That's all it is.
Spread out, for what a movie is to Quibi is what like a YouTube video is to TikTok. I don't know. I was thinking like with Microsoft not getting the TikTok deal, maybe Microsoft, maybe YouTube, maybe they can make their own, start their own. I guess they already have their like, what do you call it, YouTube TV, but put it with that. I don't know. That seems like the most appropriate place for it for me, but I don't know much about Quibi. What you got, Pate? What are you thinking?
I thought Disney could be interesting. Disney has the cash to buy it. You take it, you rebrand it as Disney Plus Mobile, and it's only snackable content videos, and it can be folded into your Disney Plus app as just a subsection.
See, here's why I disagree with Disney. I think you're right in every sense of that. They have the means to do it, and it would make sense. But Quibi, again, I don't know much about it, but from what I understand, it's a lot of.
It's probably not brand safe.
It's not brand safe because a lot of it is like one-off projects that maybe weren't fully thought out to make a full movie or a full TV series or something like that. And so they're like very nuanced, very can be kind of edgy or just kind of ridiculous, where it's not going to be brand safe for Disney.
I wonder if you throw off everything you don't want from it though. Because everyone who already made it got paid, I assume. I will admit I don't know how they compensate creators on that. But if you throw that off and then you can maybe start pivoting into your own content and shows though. Oh, Ryan is leaving us.
Bye, Ryan.
But like what if you threw off that stuff, put on only the snackable portions to where it doesn't detract from, say, the Avengers, but it's like a quick 5-minute each episode series on the Avengers.
Sure. I mean, just Quibi would have to change what their purpose was, and that's fine if the bag's right.
Hey, well, if they're getting bought, they don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, and it's not to say they will get bought. Who knows? It raised 1.1 billion. So of like total venture. So I don't know how long that is going to last them. I think they just hit the wall, right? The wall of COVID.
I think the problem is people prefer TikTok over Quibi.
Yeah, it's all fighting for
Quibi's
screen
more
time.
than a minute, so.
Well, and it's also not even
it's professionally done.
It's also not video versus video versus video versus video streaming services. Like you want to know, I think it was a couple months ago, may have been almost time is a flat circle now, but it may have been at the very beginning this year. What Netflix, Reed Hastings said their Netflix's biggest competition was for eyeballs. Fortnite.
What?
Yep. In terms of time, like when Fortnite was maybe just coming off of its peak of its like 1 year run, not to say it's still not insanely popular, but they said amongst the like younger demographics of your maybe 13 to 29, Fortnite was their main competition for time spent on their platform.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess. When you're coming home from work, school, whatever, and you're about to go to sleep or whatever, are you going to go play Xbox? And Fortnite was the thing, or PS5, PS4, whatever. Or you're on a computer. Are you going to play a video game, or are you going to watch a streaming service? What are the two biggest? Netflix, video game platforms. Fortnite is what they're using, or what they were using. Now it's like Apex for the most part, in Warzone. But yeah, I guess that makes sense when you break it down. But yeah, I would never have guessed that in a million years.
Yeah, and also that just reminded me, speaking of other streaming platform news, Peacock reached a deal with Roku finally. So that's good news for Peacock, and finally available on Roku devices, aka Ryan. We can hear your dog barking in the background, Finley. But yeah, that was it for me with Quibi. Did we have anything else?
No, I'm gonna throw Microsoft. I'm gonna stick with it. Maybe they merge it into Xbox and put it on there for their what's Xbox's new thing gonna be called?
Scorpio.
What is it?
Scorpio.
Okay. Yeah, maybe with that to compete against Sony.
I don't know anything about Quibi. Sorry.
Give me an edge.
Well, none of us became a paying member of it, so it's not expected we would know a lot about it.
Yeah.
I
don't think I'd pay for any streaming services right now. I'm using all my parents still.
So.
I'm millennial trash. I lean hard into it.
Hey, YouTube TV just got the NFL Red Zone package though for this year, and it's a blessing because one of the worst streaming apps has been the NFL like actual app, and trying to stream Red Zone through it in the past.
Hey, KK.
Hi, KK. Yeah, that's now a package on YouTube TV. So that was an easy $10 a month ad for the season.
Nice. I'm about to split with 2 other roommates here in a couple of days, so maybe I'll look into that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Pate, you want to take a little break here while we talk about TikTok?
Yeah, I'm going to go on mute, and I officially have no comment on anything said beyond this point regarding TikTok or any alleged deals.
All right. Ryan, you want to jump into it, or want me to jump into it? I got a couple stats here for you.
You can jump into
it. Don't make any gestures at all if I say something wrong here. All right. So the basics behind it, from what I understand from my 20 seconds of research, is so TikTok's stepping away from ByteDance. They're like making their own way here. They're going to be known as TikTok Global. So basically Trump approved the deal, at least for now. We'll see what happens if China can approve what the stipulations are. Their global HQ is going to be in Texas. It's going to create 25,000 jobs. And they also are committing $5 billion to education as part of the deal. And then Oracle, Walmart, from what I understand, is going to take a 20% cumulative stake, and they will IPO to the market in 2021. That's all I've read, all I've seen. I'm sure there's more to it, but I don't know. All right, Ryan, what do you think about this? TikTok going public and going with being able to stay in the U.S.
I think it had to be done before the cutoff deadline, and any kind of deal was a good deal for the consumer. And I'm excited to see like what'll come officially of it. But for now, yeah, it's good news, and people can still download. So I think it's overall, though, I think TikTok's still just a trend like anything else. I don't know. It's definitely near its peak. It's eventually going to die off. I don't know personally. If I was Oracle Walmart, I wouldn't have thrown that amount of money at this fad because I think it's not going to be the thing of the future. I mean, what's to get from purchasing some social media site? Yeah, I guess the algorithm, but what's that going to do to a cloud computing company? How's it going to make them better? I mean, it seems a bit interesting to me. So time will tell if this is a good deal. For Walmart, though, I think it's a great idea because they're going to use it and advertise a shit ton for their e-commerce fulfillment, like just
Walmart's making moves right now. They're getting into the healthcare system too. They're doing all the eye exams and the quick medical checkups and stuff through their stores. And I don't know how all that stuff works. It's like Walmart Plus, and they're competing with Amazon with all of that for 1-day delivery, 2-day delivery. And so I think TikTok is maybe their key, or maybe what they think is their key to advertising all this stuff and getting into the minds of young and old people in a quick way outside of just TV advertising. I'm sure they want it for other reasons too, but just immediate. I think that's taking full advantage of getting all these creators on board, maybe paying them too. We'll see how that works.
It'll be interesting. I like the move for Walmart. I think it's going to bring additional revenue to them. We'll see.
I'm sure there's things we don't know about Oracle too. That there's a reason why they want it besides just the algorithm.
I mean, it's hard to find like a good fit for someone to buy TikTok. So I guess I'll take any kind of deal, and now everybody can use them. So.
Well, now that they're maybe not quite officially going to stay around, but it looks like at least for a while. Maybe our TikTok guy, me, needs to actually post some videos. So I can stop using the excuse of it might go away, because it's not going away anytime relatively soon. You might be right; it might be a fad, but I think it's around for at least 6 to 8 more months.
I agree.
Source.
Yeah, it'll be here. It's here to stay for at least a year, but beyond that, it'll be very interesting to see how many people log in and watch it. Cool. It's hard to make brands stick, I mean,
I know. I mean, Instagram did it, Twitter did it. Maybe TikTok is the answer for short-term video. I don't know. What they've done so far, it's better than what was the other one? Ryan, help me out here. What was
Vine?
Vine, thank you.
Yeah. That's what I think of when I think
might be a little too early for its time.
Yeah, maybe they're ahead of the game. I don't look at Instagram Reels or any of those other fake TikToks.
Right.
So,
right.
They definitely have that market, but
we'll just post our TikTok videos onto Reels. Yeah.
Exactly.
But
cool.
And I don't know if you noticed, Reels is it's thought central if you open your phone, and don't open it in public, because if you thought TikTok was bad at one point, Reels, it's a little scary. Open it right now, Ryan. See what shows up on yours, and tell me you want to open up in front of your wife. Maybe KK walks in and slaps you a little bit.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up. It's under like the suggested page, right?
Just go to search.
Yeah.
Just discover search,
Okay.
and it's your top thing.
Oh,
It's
God.
probably some
Yeah.
20-year-old. Yep.
First one fits the description there.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, if you're age 18 to 30 and male, I think it targets towards you. Or I'm just a just degenerate, but who knows? I don't think I've searched things in that category, so I think I'm safe.
But you're right, though. They're all
Pay,
TikTok grabs. They're all TikToks. Like,
oh, I know. Pay, I think you can stop internally screaming now. We're done talking TikTok.
yeah, we're done.
While Ryan searches through this wormhole here that I turned him on to. I apologize, KK.
I quit.
Yes, anything that was previously said about a potential deal is those two's own opinions. And as somebody who his company is owned by Oracle, I have no comment on the matter or anything that they just said. To completely change the subject, though, holy crap, so many people got hurt in the NFL yesterday. Like, while I wasn't listening to y'all the last 5 minutes, just watching them go through, I didn't know Christian McCaffrey's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. I'm pissed.
What?
Yeah, they just announced Nick Bosa tore his ACL. That's bad, man. That's real
He
bad.
gone.
Saquon's gone, obviously.
Yeah, prayers up to those guys and their recoveries, because rehab, I don't have to tell either of y'all. All three of us have had horrific injuries. So nothing football related, but still all through baseball. Just rehab sucks. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say on that. And now that we're officially off complete topic of what our podcast is about, y'all want to wrap up?
Sure. Hopefully we get this rebound here that the Feds are talking about. I don't know if it's going to actually happen, but the sharp incline. But that'd be nice. So we can get a little bit of momentum going into election season where we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, that's my hope for the future, for this week at least.
Yeah, I hope we get some kind of a stimulus deal. I know that there's a lot of political divide, but there's just companies that are going to go out of business. So this needs to be resolved. Put your differences aside. I know,
and they're not.
Ruth Bader passing away is going to potentially impact both sides with agreeing for each other. But let's put that aside and think of all the people that are going to have no money to feed their families or run their businesses because of this. So the country needs some kind of a stimulus to get us through till the election. We can't wait until after.
The Fed can't
my
buy
thoughts.
Corporate debt of the restaurant down the street. That can only still have 50% capacity, or the gym that only can have X percent capacity. It just sucks, man.
It sucks.
And they need help. So I hope we can get it. And let's go out on that note. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Subscribe, rate, and review. And make sure you hit us up on the socials as well whenever Justin gets off his lazy ass and starts up the TikTok. Twitter, the person/idiot that's running that, aka myself, is much more engaged. Make sure you give us a follow there, and we will see y'all next time.